Good. We have practiced for about 1.5 hours now, mindful walking and mindful sitting. And usually after the practice, we go for a bit of a chat, the purpose of which is to galvanize the practice we are doing, why we do it, how we do it, and what happens, and then how we handle things like that. To do that, we have two main techniques. One is listening technique, or we call it listening supportive factor. And the other one is the discussion supportive factor. So today, we are not going to have the listening supportive factor, but most probably we will be able to listening supportive factor in the next session onwards. So therefore, we will be having the discussion supportive factor today. So to start the discussion supportive factor, I can invite the audience here to raise your questions or the points or anything relating to Dhamma that you should discuss, so that we will be able to relate it to our practice. Did that new person come, Chatu?
No, they didn't come.
Okay, good. Right, that's all right. So it's over to all of you.
Hi.
Yes, Sri Lanka.
So I think that I'm stuck in a vicious circle. But then, maybe existing is like a vicious circle, maybe. But I want to mention this vicious circle that I'm trapped in. So maybe you can help. So my vicious circle is, well, I have a problem. It's quite funny, okay? I have a problem that I'm doing attention seeking, okay? So I'm always wearing bright colors. I'm always doing performances. I'm doing things which get me a lot of attention. I'm always doing that. That's natural to me. And then I have a feeling of great self-worth, which kind of makes me arrogant. I don't know if arrogant is the right word, but I think to myself, oh, wow, I'm so interesting. I'm so colorful and I'm so vibrant, and people must just love me. Like, I have this real great arrogance. And so I don't like that. And I find that my journey with meditation has made me come down to earth. But my vicious circle problem is my awareness keeps expanding. So I keep becoming more and more aware of how egotistical or arrogant I am. But the more my awareness expands, the greater I believe I am. So my problem is I'm in a catch-22 situation. I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'm so childish. I'm so annoying. I'm really boring in these stupid attention-thinking things I'm doing. But then I think, wow, I'm so aware. wow, I'm really aware of this, and think, oh, I'm so amazing because I'm so aware. And then it goes arrogant, awareness, arrogant. And it just seems to be like my awareness keeps expanding, but it feels like my ego is expanding with the awareness of how stupid I am. Do you understand?
Yes.
So that makes me very emotional.
Yes. Good. If you are emotional, that's the success. And there are a few things in your statement. Number one is you started saying it is vicious cycle, and at the same time it is funny, right? And a lot of people, we all are in a vicious cycle. That is the teaching of the Buddha. He said, suffering is a noble truth, right? So, because for whatever reason, thing that you see that it is not a good thing. It is a vicious cycle. But for you, you say it's a vicious cycle. But this vicious cycle for a lot of people is an entertainment, is fun. They are addicted to it, right? So, but now for you, you don't justify it. You straight away point blank says it is vicious cycle. So you have understood the first teaching of the Buddha, that this is suffering. So it's a problem or a solution? It's a solution. That you, for you to solve the problem, you should understand the problem. So you have very clearly seen it. And then second thing what you said was, it is very funny, right? So when you see a situation and that situation is a problem, if you get engrossed in it, if you become a problem to it, but in your case, you see the problem, although you say you are egoistic, but you leave the problem little bit further away and see, and then you don't see a problem, you see it's a funny comedy drama. So you say it's funny. So therefore, you don't know that you are in the path of Buddha. Since you are in the path of the Buddha, only you will be able to see these things and present these things in those terms. Right? This is exactly how it is happening. You see a huge, unacceptable phenomena is taking place. But when you see it, it's such a funny story. And you can go to a site and keep laughing at yourself. And this is why when you see Buddha statue, Buddha is half laughing, because he himself sees how his mind is working. Although he has attained his enlightenment, his mind is always trying to take him to this vicious cycle. So because of his attention, he sees all these things and have a slight laugh and just keep practicing. And he's not sitting 24/7, but his attention is high. And also, when you are presenting it, you very clearly mention the reason why this is a vicious cycle. One reason is you see that you are an attention seeker, right? So all of us are, and all of us, some people, now in your case, you say you are an attention seeker, and other people will have other things, right? Maybe some may like food, some may like video game, some may like sex. So a lot of other things. And some people want to keep their slim body or built body. And also those things are part of vicious cycle. And from all that, whether you like it or not, what we try to do is try to be attractive to other people. And see that you are the man or you are the person in the crowd, right? So you want to stand out. In your case, you are very clearly seeing it. This is me. This is how I am. Compare with other people, those who don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. Some agenda is rolling them on. Some agenda is making their life, running their existence. Now we know what run our existence, right? And not only we know, and you can see the consequence of it. And you can see that your ego is building up, it's boasting. And you use the word arrogance. And to me, it is not very appropriate. It is not the arrogance. You can't say from what you said, it is not the arrogance. You have huge, I would say, tendency or attractiveness to what is going on. I don't know, the word arrogance is very suitable to what you describe. So you are not an arrogant person and creating problem in the crowd that you are in, but you are very intentionally and proactively involved in getting that attention, right? So you may see that as an arrogance within, but I'm not quite sure whether the word arrogance is appropriate there. Anyway, you see, by doing these things, you very clearly see the boosting or inflating ego, right? And seeing that is again the solution. Buddha says that ignorance is the cause of problem. And there are 12 steps in our existence, right? We call it dependent origination, cause and effect relationship. In this dependent origination, Buddha says ignorance is the first. Because of ignorance, intentional mental volition takes place. Because of mental volition, consciousness takes place. Because of consciousness, name and form takes place. Because of name and form, 6 sense bases starts taking place. Because of 6 sense bases, contacts. Because of contact, feeling. And like that, it goes on to the Four Noble Truth, or not Four Noble Truth, suffering and decay, right? So now in your case, you know how much garbage is within you. Knowing how much garbage we have is the wisdom, is the lack of ignorance. Right? Those who are ignorant, they don't know how much garbage they have. But in your case, you know how much garbage you have. So Buddha says, knowing ignorance is the liberation. Knowing ignorance, how much ignorance we have, having a quantification, having bookkeeping of our own ignorance is the strength, is the wisdom, is the liberation, is the way out.
I want to ask.
I have not finished.
Okay.
Sorry. And also you mentioned something 22 something. Did you say 22J or something? In your
another term for vicious circle is catch-22.
Catch-22.
Yeah.
So it's another term for vicious circle.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was not aware.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So so for me, you are exactly on the path, and you very clearly not only see that your defilements, and you also know that you are aware of the defilements. And the only thing that has to get corrected is, in your last sentence you mentioned, I don't like it. And that is the only thing. Now, since you are aware that you are aware of these things, you will have to be happy about the fact that you are aware. We will have to start appreciating awareness instead of hating what the awareness is showing. When we are really aware, when the torch is straight inside, introvert, within, then we can see all the garbage. Seeing the garbage is the answer, is the solution. And when we have the solution, we will have to appreciate who has shown this solution, which is the mindfulness. So therefore it's going so well. I would only suggestion I would make is start now gradually. Whenever you see this vicious cycle, start appreciating the fact I am mindful. So I see these things. Have a half laugh like Buddha, and just keep loving Sri Lanka.
I understand.
Right. Now you want to ask a question.
Yeah. Is there an end to the garbage?
No. But
that's just awful.
No.
There's no end ever.
No, there is an end. The garbage means it is not the garbage that you really have. This garbage is created by the mind. And the very same mind is expecting the end to it. Then only it can create the friction. Instead, what the Buddha said was, you can see that your eye is going to an external object. And you can, because of your heightened awareness, this awareness has developed to the level of enlightenment factor. Because of heightened awareness, you can see eye is going to an external object, and the two objects, internal object and the external object, is hooked now, which we call consciousness. And because of that consciousness, now you are building up a story, and you are aware of that. And then that story, since because of your awareness, it goes on for some time and that ends. And then it completely fades away. Your mental and physical process at the same time fades away. And then another thing starts. And that thing is something to do with the ear object, and ear faculty and the external sound object. And the same thing happens. So because these internal faculties are within us, and there are external objects taking those things, and that rolling is going on, that function is going on. We can't level the world. We can't stop the world. The universe is going on. Buddha showed us the way not to get hooked onto those things. I have given you some grease. Use that grease and don't get caught. Just slip. So that is the awareness. So in the heightened level of mindfulness, what Buddha says is you can keep on seeing those things. And when you keep on seeing those things, you are not really part of it. So long as you try to stop it, so long as you give some valuation to it, some evaluation to it, then you are creating yourself with whatever you see or whatever you don't see, whatever you hear or whatever you don't hear. Right? So if you don't give any valuation, give any appraisal, just maintain only awareness, then ego gradually starts deflating. That becomes the end.
So my ego will start to deflate when I just observe it.
And I use one more word.
Appreciate
appreciate your observation.
Okay, so thank you.
Most welcome.
And I have sort of a question around that. I read recently that attention seeking is like looking for validation for self, for self-worth. but part of the journey is when you feel confident in yourself and your own abilities, and you accept who you are. You don't need that validation. So that sort of can also change in you as well, because you don't need other people saying, hey, you're really funny, or you're great, you're good, because you already feel everything that you need is within yourself.
Yeah, I mean, so far as the normal living is concerned, the living in the society is concerned, what you say is right. Because you try to seek the attention because you want to be somebody. But once you are aware, once you know that you have the ways and means and the skills that that is necessary, then you will gradually avoid or stop seeking attention. That's what you mean, is it?
Yeah, so what I was reading was like Buddha was actually saying we don't need anything or anybody else. It's all within us. We've just got to find that switch where we understand that we have everything that we need within us. We don't need anything outside.
Yeah, that's Now, Buddha has said that, but the question is, are we there yet? We are not there. We are in the business of seeking attention or something else, right? But when we walk on the path of the Buddha, what we start first seeing is how defiled we are. When we see how defiled we are, if you get upset, you block Buddha's path, right? So the ability that we have is to go beyond these defilements. Yes, I am seeing these things, but these defilements can't attack me. These defilements can't change me. I go through them. That skill is much stronger than attention seeking. And then with that skill, when you bring your attention to the body, or when you bring attention to within yourself, when you are not affected by anything around you, that is the real skill. That is the ability, the potential the Buddha is seeing in all human beings. So all human beings are encouraged to take that out. So when you take it out, then this happens. You start seeing how vulgar you are, right? So, and seeing that is the ability. Seeing that is the skill. So, indirectly, you are developing that skill. So when that happens, you are not trying to seek the attention outside, because you have gone through that. You see how happy you can be without seeking attention from outsiders when you are yourself, or when you are with yourself. Thank you very much.
I guess it's a bit like what you were saying, like Zach is able to observe, he's got that awareness, so he's like on that path because he's observing what's happening. It's just working out in his mind how to deal with that thing.
I think the key is what you mentioned, gratitude, because I know about that. Like my two things are arrogance and gratitude. Maybe arrogance is the wrong word, but certainly what you said really hit the nail on the head for me. Amazing, you know, the appreciation of the awareness for that. As soon as you said that, I thought, my God, that stops the cycle immediately, because it's not annoying anymore. I'm just going, wow, I'm observing this cycle, and I'm so lucky. And then I feel humbled to have that awareness, you know. And oh my goodness, wow, keep doing this practice. I'm sure there's more to come, you know. So it makes me more curious and more grateful.
Thank you. Nice to hear.
Thank you, Dante.
Thank you. Yes, moderator.
I don't think we have any more questions.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, Chatu, do you have anything?
No.
Right. We can chant our traditional stanzas.